Joe Robine of American Cane Self-Defense, and today we're talking cane self-defense for beginners. And I'm holding here Cane Masters Design Your Own Cane. So this is now where you can go onto that website pretty much and build a cane based on the features that you like. And this one is loaded, and I'm going to show you how that works. And the first thing that we can take advantage of, obviously, is the cane's reach advantage. It's designed to keep an assailant at bay. That's done with power shots. Power shots under duress, we know that under the adrenaline flood, it interferes with physical coordination. So the responses need to be simple. We don't want to get real elaborate. That's not the time to practice your kinesthetic training with spinning. That's the time to go from standard into power shot mode and keep someone at bay with your shots. Incapacitate if you need to. Ideally, you wouldn't even have to make contact. You're loud with strong verbals. Back off, get away, right? So you have to go into your assailant's mindset. They see an individual with a cane that all of a sudden comes from here to here, and they see a three-dimensional propeller coming at them with strong assertive verbals. Now, in today's world, everybody has a phone, right? So now you're being loud, you're being obnoxious, and you're forcing your assailant to make a decision. Am I going to risk coming in there and getting cracked, right? Or am I going to live to rob another day or whatever he was up to? Right? And not only that, because you're loud with your strong assertive verbals are the third person in the altercation. They work for you if you use them. If you quiet down, then it doesn't bring attention. Your assailant obviously does not want you to bring attention because anybody can just pick up a phone and record you. So how do you do a figure eight with your cane? In the ACSD system, the figure eight is composed of two shots, a number 1, which is a diagonal coming across, and a number 5 if you break it down. So the wrist is based and form is doing it. There's some flexion extension going on, but note that the elbow is kept close to the body, so it wouldn't look like this. And there's a reason for that. ACSD is mindful of a guard zone, so I want you to think of an imaginary rectangle that covers your guards up here, these quadrants here, down low, and your midline. So by keeping the elbow in, I'm not leaving myself open. You train yourself like that to ingrain it in the nerve system so that under duress, think of an untrained fighter. A lot of adrenaline, getting tired, right, starts throwing wild punches. That's not what you want to do with the cane. You want to look like a trained boxer or fighter that's throwing strikes straight down the pike and is mindful in that the strikes have a built-in defense, and that's keeping it tight in the guard zone. Your other hand is referred to as the guard hand in ACSD. It's there to protect you, but it's also there in the event that it needs to be brought into use. Whatever you do to one side, you're going to do to the other, and this is in essence what that figure eight looks like. If you release the grip and move down to the horn and crook, you can also do a figure eight from here and go back. Now, every time that cane is crossing your midline and you're switching from side to side, it has the added bonus of training your brain. ACSD training is a form of brain training as well. So it double ups in terms of the benefits. That's the first thing. The first concept is you're using your cane. Now, this is a hardwood cane. Cane Masters only makes hardwood canes that can withstand impact. They're designed with functionality in mind. Now, I'm going to give you an example. I'm going to call Luke in here. There's always the concept, my most hated assault is having to deal with a knife attack. Now, we're going to use a simulator there. So Luke is holding this. This would be simulate a knife attack. But your best defense against a knife attack, and I know you're watching this, I would ask you, if we're in a class, I would ask you to repeat this, is distance, right? So I see that knife, I'm going to come out here. And the idea is to overwhelm with power shots. So if we were here at a distance, this is right what it would look like, and I want to back him off. I want to back him off. Now, keep in mind, rule number 1, wood on bone hurts. What I'm trying to do is I'm not trying to destroy him. You're never going to hear it out of us, hey, whack him in the head, kill. That's not what we do. We're looking to incapacitate. And if you take out the limbs, you win. Why? Because if I make contact here, fracture that hand, now that hand is no longer functional. That's the hand that's carrying the tool, right? Also gives me the opportunity to look up here, go down low without telegraphing, and you're taking out the wheels. So again, if you take out the limbs, you win. In this case, we're using the shaft of the cane. Let me bring your attention to a very unique feature here, which is the striking edge that has been strategically placed in the back of the cane. Now, let me tell you why that's unique. The rule of thumb is typically the horn is there to protect you and points away from you. The majority of us like to carry the cane in a reverse grip. I'm going to show you with Luke real quick over here how to use this edge. Now, this is close combat. He goes ahead to grab, right? He's gonna choke you. I'm in here, I bring up my hands now. Look at how easy it is to choke up and come into this position. Ken, keep your eye on that feature. Wood on bone hurts, so I take the thumb here. I don't even have to look at him. When he comes up, I catch it right in here. I do this. You see the effect that it has. So I don't have to be the strongest, biggest, fastest, because the tool creates leverage. If you're watching this and you're saying, how do I know if I can do that? Well, take your cane, bring it up to here. You're going to turn it just slightly and see what I do with my thumb. It comes in here. The other component is that you can strike to the inside of the hand. On the thumb side, you have the radial nerve. So if you go in here and strike, you're going to get this response, and here's the love tap, right, that ensues from that. So very simple. Can you do this movement? Do this movement. That is your walkthrough. If you look at the shaft of the cane, now you're going to run into these rumble strips. Why would you use that? How can you leverage it in self-protection? Again, I think there's a situation here. I come up into this passive ready stance. He's a young guy. He's a fast guy. He throws a straight punch that's coming down. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sidestep that, so when he comes in, I'm going to make contact behind the elbow. Now, look at the strips. They're back here. What I'm going to do now, above the elbow, there's a pressure point. I'll show you first with the hands. If you take that and rub it, right, that's the response that you get. Now, if you use those rumble strips and put them back there, when I move up and down, that's what I'm going to get. Because I have the shaft, there's a strike, there's a stab to the ribs that will create distance. So now you start seeing how when you know what you're doing with the training, you can create your own cane, put the features that you like to create leverage. Now I'm going to show you the last one, and that is, look at the horn. From this angle, it looks pretty innocuous, just straight down. If you take your palm, put that horn in there, and you move in here, this is used for a quick release response. Let me illustrate what that is. You find yourself, he's this big guy, and he's going to take you off your feet. So I'm going to create a foot anchor down here, right, which prevents him from moving up. I step to the side. How do I break out of here? Well, you're going to take the nose of that horn and dig in there, right? That releases the grip. That gets you to move out. So it's designed for a quick release response. And up close, right, he throws a roundhouse punch. I come in here, strike, step in, hook in here. That'll have him singing soprano. And take it here, bang, you're going to disengage and go, right? Everything that you can do, every inch of this cane has a purpose for self-protection. You get to put it together, and the real equalizer is training.
With the new Design Your Own Cane feature, you can optimize your cane for mobility and for training. So if you're looking for a cane, Cane Masters, ACSD, best training in the world.